welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited about this video because I haven't done one of these in a cool minute. If you don't know what this series is on my channel, it's my Girl Talk Get Ready With Me series where I talk about a topic of advice while I get ready and I talk about my experience, and it's just one big girl talk. So I will link the playlist down in the description box of all the Girl Talk Get Ready With Me's that I've done in the past. I've covered a lot of different topics. Also, definitely be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and leave me a comment of the next topic you want me to do. I even thought of a few more topics to do while I was doing this video, so definitely let me know your feedback, because one of my goals in the next month or two is to start posting every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday again, and I would love to start bringing these videos back because I know you guys love them and I love filming them. So subscribe to my channel and follow me on my social platforms to be involved and for more. But yeah, I talked a lot about dating and just everything to do with dating, the good and the bad, in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, I'm really excited to be doing this topic today to help all my single ladies out, or men, you know, it could go both ways. So I have very vague bullets on my phone. Usually I just wing it, but I really wanted to make sure that I touched on like a bunch of different things. So like every Girl Talk Get Ready With Me, I'm gonna give you guys some background. So I have been single for 2 years now, so I feel like I've learned so much on this journey of being single that I want to share with you guys. And I'm actually so grateful that I waited this long, because I think the first year of being single was like a lot of getting the hang of it and realizing things, but the second year was really how to overcome it and not let it affect you. So we are going to be talking all about that today. So first things first, if you're newly single, the most important step before even thinking about dating is healing. So this is the perfect time to watch my heartbreak Girl Talk Get Ready With Me that I did, I think, about a year ago now. Dating while you're healing is just not gonna help at all, at least in my experience. I also got a lot of questions from you guys that I'm gonna answer later on in this video. I'm sure we all know dating is definitely a process. It can be scary and nerve-wracking because essentially you're dating to meet your future partner, whether that is long-term and you guys are gonna end up getting married and having a family and all that, or whether it's not gonna work out. You never know. Dating is seriously like gambling. So let's start with the basics. You've moved on from your past relationship, or maybe you're just single and ready to mingle. But the point is that you're ready to mingle. I think the first thing you have to have is very low expectation, and I strongly believe you have to go into it with the mindset whatever happens happens. Personally, when dating, I don't like to think, is this person gonna be my husband? Oh my god, is this gonna be my next boo? Like, I just learned it the hard way. You do not want to think any of those thoughts, get your hopes up, none of that. You also have to be 100% fully prepared to put yourself first in this whole process, and I'm gonna go on about that later on, deeper into the steps of dating. But you have to go into the mentality that no matter what happens, who you meet, that you're gonna put yourself first and what you want first, and be selfish, because when you're single you could be selfish, period. So anyway, I also wanted to include this because I get a lot of questions about how to not be shy and how to shoot your shot. And let's be real, we all get nervous when shooting our shot because we have the thought of rejection in our minds. We don't know. Sometimes it's pride, sometimes we don't want the other person to be like, damn, I got it, especially as females. But nowadays, and I've heard from many guys that they love when we shoot our shot. And when it comes to shooting your shot, I definitely don't really have straightforward tips, because I'll admit it, I get really nervous. It was really hard for me to grasp the concept of eye contact first. Being from New York and also being in a loyal relationship for 5 years, I used to, and still do in a way, I'm getting better, but I got really shy by eye contact. Like literally I would make eye contact with someone cute and look away. Like, who does that? And then wonder why they're not coming up to me. Hello. First things first, you definitely should make eye contact, see if they're looking back. But regardless of the fact, if you're shy, I'm sure you've heard it before, the worst that can happen is that person says no, or they have a girlfriend, or they're not interested. And you know what? It is what it is. Not everyone's gonna be interested. That shouldn't affect your self-esteem or your day or your mood. But in terms of stop being shy, I feel like it takes a lot of practice. I guess I could do a whole video on how to flirt. I don't know if that's cringy, but flirting takes practice. Some people are natural at it, some people aren't. I am very teaseful. I'll be really sarcastic. I'm not gonna lie, I might do the arm hit and the stop, but I think my number one tip is learning to be secure with yourself, and again, putting yourself first, because at the end of the day, dating is pretty much forcing you to interact with strangers. Learning to be confident in yourself and accept yourself, so even if you do get rejected, it's not a big deal. Okay, so now let's say you score the first date. I feel like I should make a whole separate in-depth like makeup video and outfit ideas video on like different things to wear on a date and stuff like that. I get so nervous for first dates. I'm sure we all do. And the thing about dating is, think of it as a learning experience. That's the way I would go into dating. I wouldn't go into dating as like, oh my god, I'm searching for my soulmate. Of course, that's a part of it, and I'm sure that's deep down what goes through everybody's head, but you have to see it as a learning experience for yourself. As much as even I personally hate dating, it has taught me so much about myself. Going on dates, as time wasting as it could be when you go on a bad date, you're learning what you like and don't like in a partner and a person, and you're learning how to read red flags, and that is the most important concept. One of the things that inspired me to talk about this in my next Girl Talk Get Ready With Me was a recent tweet that I saw. It said, not dating at all in high and middle school are super underrated and more people should try it because what a waste of time and lots of heartache for no reason. To be honest, even dating in college should be a hard maybe. So I quoted it and said, I agree, the waste of time and heartbreak, but it also teaches you a lot of lessons to take into your adult life and not repeat. Heartbreak can be a blessing in disguise and teach you how to love and put yourself first. I can't imagine experiencing my first heartbreak / being lost in my mid-20s. Knowing how to read red flags / knowing what you like and don't like in a partner is super important. Dating helps you learn a lot about yourself and can save a lot of wasted time in the future when you're looking to settle down. I think dating is super healthy, and it just takes practice to not let things get to you and to kind of not care in a sense. I feel like I've kind of mastered being heartless. I don't know if that's the right word, but I guess not taking dating to heart, or like not affecting my life because of a random guy that I went on a date with. But we're gonna get there later on. So I feel like knowing red flags and knowing what you don't like in a person and being able to pick that up with little things that a person does or says is so important, because it's gonna save you so much time. Every wasted date or every wasted talking stage is just teaching you what you need in a future soulmate. Now, when it comes to actively dating, for me, I'm the type of person who's kind of accepted. I'm young, I just turned 21, summer's gonna come up. I'm in no rush to find a boo, so I do not have Tinder, I do not have Bumble, I literally do not have any of the dating app. I did download Tinder once, and honestly, I didn't like it. At the end of the day, if you want to date, by all means, go on Tinder dates, go on Bumble dates, but for me personally, I'm the type of person where when it's meant to be, or when I'm supposed to meet someone, is when I'm going to meet someone. And I feel like when you're actively not looking, that's the time that you meet someone. But where I'm also getting at with this is, don't let dating rule your life. The active search for a boo can be really exhausting. That's when it can really affect you mentally. So my biggest advice is to look at dating as carefree and lightly as possible. Don't worry about labels. So my one guy friend always says to me, and at first I thought he was kind of crazy, but he's so right. So every girl, he literally told me that he doesn't go on dates. Like, he makes friends with girls, has friendships with them, gets to learn who they're really like, even to the point where like they'll vent to him about other guys and stuff that you normally wouldn't tell someone that you're dating. And he says he does that because he gets to know the real person before he even wants to consider dating them, because when you're friends with someone, you get to see everything. You don't normally hold back with your friends. And at first I was like, you're doing the most. I'm not saying everyone should go to that far extreme. I don't even do that far extreme. But even I've noticed, like with my guy friends, I'm so comfortable with them. I'm literally me with them. But then when I go on a date with someone, I'm like reserved, and that part of me takes a while to come out because, you know, it's the pressure of dating. Not that I'm not myself, but around my guy friends, I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, I'm more open to dance and sing, you know, but like on a date, I feel like it would take me a few dates to warm up to someone to do that. So that's just another tip if you do get nervous with dating, is maybe look at it as like, I'm just meeting a friend today. But okay, let's say you meet someone that you really like and you're in the talking stage now. Always like, what do you do? How do you act? They're mine, but they're not mine. And I honestly hate the talking stage, but that's just what this generation has kind of labeled it. I think it's important to set boundaries with anyone that you are dating seriously or looking to date seriously. I think finding out what a person wants, as intimidating and scary as that is, in general, not just with you, but in general, is good to not waste time. But it's always in the question of, am I allowed to talk to other people when I'm in the talking stage? Is that person talking to other people? Where is this gonna go? And that's why I strongly believe boundaries need to be in place. Boundaries need to be set. Biggest thing I learned, and I'm not trying to be negative at all by saying this, but through my experiences in dating, you have to expect the least, and you have to be somewhat negative to protect your own heart. Because when you're an optimist when it comes to dating, that's how you get heartbroken. And I know, like, being a hopeless romantic, I wouldn't say I'm one anymore, but I used to be so badly. And I think, you know, through dating, I've come to realize you can't trust easily. You can't assume that the person you're dating is being loyal to you. And I think that's just an evident fact. Until someone makes you your girlfriend, you really can't expect that person to not be talking to anyone else and not be considering their options, because committing to someone and making them your boyfriend or girlfriend is a big deal. So it's human nature for men and women to make sure that they're picking the best option. So please, when you're dating, please protect your own heart. Don't be too naive. And guys, I know we've all been there. When we really like someone, we get our hopes up, we think that this is it, we trust. That's why I'm telling you guys to try your hardest not to, unless you're shown. But we've all been through a failed talking stage, a classic failed talking stage, where you get used to someone, you talk to them every day, maybe you stop dating other people, you just want them, you really like them, this and that, and it doesn't work out. What do you do then? How do you get over someone that you never even dated? Well, my biggest advice is, if they were never your boyfriend or girlfriend, you gotta think of it as a blessing. Like, they didn't even make me their boyfriend or girlfriend and I'm gonna sit here and cry over them. And I know it's hard, like, depending on how long you were talking to them, but that right there is just a blessing in disguise. And I want you to know, people, but I'm sorry, I'm a woman, so I'm gonna say men are so replaceable. But you know, it could go the other way around too. People are just replaceable, and I have learned through dating that I'll like someone a lot and then I'll meet someone and forget all about that other person. But when we're in it and when we're dating, we think that we're never gonna meet anyone and oh my god, this person's so amazing. But were they really that amazing if they couldn't commit and then left you hanging? Like, imagine how much worse it would be if you were in a whole ass relationship. And I know sometimes it's even harder with the talking stage to like accept that it didn't work out, because most of the time you're like going on cute fun dates and it's puppy love and it feels so good. And again, literally say to yourself, and especially if you've been in a past relationship, when I caught myself simping over basically looking back a random boy. At the time I was upset, but then I was like, hold up. I got over someone that I was in a 5-year relationship with, and I'm sitting over here simping over this boy that I barely knew for I don't even know. I can't even remember. That's how irrelevant it is. I can't even remember how long we were talking. You also have to come to terms with some people are just a lesson. Some people are just teaching you what you like and don't like in a partner for your future. Some people are meant to be temporary. They're meant to show you something, make you heal. Sometimes they're a realization that maybe you're not ready to date, a realization of how not to accept or tolerate being treated. And I'm even gonna say this right now. I went on an absolutely amazing date with somebody. Long story short, it didn't work out, but I truly feel like that date was so meant to happen because I have never been treated like that before, and I for so long would literally be so down and be like, why has every guy that I've dated treated me like absolute shit? Like, why does this always happen to me? And then that person and the date came along, and it made me realize that there are guys out there that will go above and beyond to make you happy and will treat you right. And it made me realize to not tolerate those shitty guys anymore. I've realized there's a lot more bad than there is good. Like, I've met so many shitty ass guys, so many that just ain't shit, but I can only name literally I think less than 3 good guys that I've met. You always also have to remember, you have to listen to your heart, and I truly believe that when it's meant to be with somebody that you're gonna know and you're gonna feel it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's been guys that I've dated that there's nothing wrong with them, I just don't feel a connection. And that's why it's good to learn all about yourself and what you like and what you don't like. And I truly believe that there's somebody out there for all of us that are going to fit what we need and desire in a relationship, and that matches our love language, whether that's in a year, whether that's in a month, whether it's in 3 years. You also just have to think, and maybe this is my mentality because I was in a 5-year relationship, that getting into a relationship is not always the best thing. Like, for me personally, when I'm in a relationship, I kind of drop all my responsibilities because I'm sprung. When you're realizing things aren't working out consistently, sometimes you need to step back and realize, okay, I'm on a different path right now. Most of us have the goal to get married and to stay with the same person and to start a family with them. So there's honestly no rush when we're young, if I'm being honest. Like, a lot of the time, it's a sign to focus on yourself, focus on your career, get your own shit together and become the best version of you so that you can meet your partner that's on the same level as you. Like, I truly don't feel the need to pointlessly date people. I think a lot of us get so wrapped up in finding a partner and thinking that's gonna equate to happiness, but that's not always the case. And my biggest fear, a lot of the reason that I'm also still single, I want to be so sure about the next person I'm in a relationship with. Like, my biggest fear is getting in another long-term relationship just for it to end, and then me be even older when it ends, and then really be like, oh crap, like, I'm trying to find a husband and I thought that was my husband. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Sometimes a relationship even brings more stress than good, and of course it depends on the situation, but I truly feel like everyone should come to terms with that. So yeah, that's why I would say I've kind of become heartless, if you want to call it, when it comes to dating. As much as you think you like someone, there's always going to be someone else and someone better. It's literally not worth your time to be upset. And that's what I've learned, and that's what I tell my friends. Like, dating people are just so replaceable. Okay, so that is majority of what I wrote in my notes to touch on. I'm just gonna pop my lashes on, and then I'm gonna move to your questions so that I can give even more insight. I'm back with my big extra lashes. I'm gonna start answering some of the questions you guys submitted. Definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter to interact with me and be involved in my videos. When is the right time to take things to the next level? I feel like that should be a mutual conversation in the talking stage. Both people should be on the same page. I feel like every dating phase is different for every couple. I just believe when you know, and it honestly, it takes time to get to know a person and who they really are. So I feel like there's no rush into things because, like I said earlier, a relationship is a big deal because you're either gonna break up or it's gonna end in marriage. So one or the other, that's both a big life alteration that you want to be sure of and take your time with. How do you help yourself when you're feeling lonely, like when you miss being in a relationship? That's a really good question. And honestly, I surround myself in the presence of my close friends, but also I just kind of think about how there's nothing really that I can necessarily do about it. I've really just learned to be in love with my own presence. That's the number one thing that being single has taught me, like how to fully love myself and just be alone. And I could do like a whole video on being independent, but take it as time to embrace yourself and find some new hobby. Whenever we're getting closer, he'll just ghost me and come back like nothing happened. He is not the one, because if he's ghosting you and playing games, like, you do not need to be dealing with that. You need to deal with someone who's sure of you. And I know I talked earlier, sometimes when you're so used to being treated a certain way, you think that there's nothing better out there, but trust me, there is. And there are men that will literally never second guess you and want to be with you so bad and never hide it. Why do some men never reply and then say they are busy? That's another thing, sis. Sorry for this noise, but honestly, I wouldn't even deal with that because I know myself. I'm a busy ass girl. I do not have time to be texting all day. That's also why I really struggle with dating, because I just don't got the time. But when someone doesn't have the time, speaking for myself, I'm a bad texter. I will literally tell someone, hey, this is what's going on right now. This is why you might not be hearing from me. I hope you have a good day though. I'll try and FaceTime you later. Little things like that to show they care. But when they're just not even replying, not even caring to tell you that they're busy, or they're just saying they're busy as an excuse, like, just don't even entertain that. Do you think opposites attract, or the more similarities the better? So honestly, I've had mixed things. Like, I've really gotten along with guys that are very similar to me, but then sometimes it's too much. I've literally met a few guys that are basically the guy version of me. And then sometimes opposites, I'm just like, ugh. I honestly don't even know. It really ranges per situation. I feel like you cannot be completely different, but also being too alike can cause issues. So I'm getting a lot of relationship questions, like, my man is doing XYZ, what do I do? So I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this video where I have you guys submit like a ton of questions about relationships. Like, this was more so dating and like talking stages and being single, but I can definitely do a whole one on actual relationship. What is your opinion on dating someone younger? So I have this like ongoing joke with my friends. Like, every time I meet a guy who's like a year or two younger than me, and I'm like, great. I was definitely in denial in some situations. I was like, it doesn't matter, like, he seems mature. But younger guys always prove to me why I shouldn't have ever gave them a chance. But that's just my experience. I feel like age doesn't necessarily matter always. Like, I do feel like younger guys just don't know how to handle certain things. I don't know. I guess it just depends on the guy, because there's older guys that ain't shit too. It's just, that's why gay dating is literally gambling. Do you believe in second chances if the guys seem truly sorry? I feel like it depends how extreme it is. Cheating, no. It's definitely circumstantial. And also, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I have just developed so many trust issues that I've learned forgiving someone gives them more reason to go do something again. They get used to it, but not everyone's perfect. And again, I feel like it really depends on the person and the situation. If you have trust issues, how do you give new people a chance? So that is something that I deal with on the constant basis. But you kind of have to, at least what I do, I look at it as, yeah, I have trust issues, but when I'm first meeting a new person, I can't assume that they're gonna do me like I've been done in the past. I've also learned not to even tell guys what guys have done to you in the past, because they'll turn around and do it right over again to you. It's not fair. Just like you wouldn't want someone with trust issues to not trust you because of their trust issues, it's not fair to do that to someone else if you're trying to healthily date and get to know somebody new. So I say have your guard up and expect the least, but don't ruin something with a new person, if I'm making any sense. And you know, it's really hard with trust issues in dating because so many people prove to you why you have trust issues and give you more trust issues, but you kind of just have to do your best to heal from that on your own and have that be your own personal thing, and be willing to take the risk with dating because it just comes with the territory, unfortunately. And the last question I'm going to answer is, what is a good age to start dating? So I literally started dating. I was in a 5-year relationship that started when I was 13, and I think that's the biggest blessing because we broke up when I was like 18. Was I turning 19? Yeah, when I had just turned 19. So before my 20s, I already knew so much of what not to tolerate, what I liked, what I didn't like. That heartbreak was the biggest blessing in disguise. I don't think I would be who I am today without that. And I honestly say whenever you feel ready, because no matter what happens and when you start dating, you're gonna learn lessons from it. And I just couldn't imagine, like, let's say starting that 5-year relationship when I was 20 and it ending when I was 25, because I would be so much more lost. So yeah, that's what I have to say. So I am finally ready now. I have time to like actually do my hair. I always get so lazy with my hair, but it's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always get so nervous when I'm filming the outros to these videos because until I edit, I can't see if I liked like everything I said and making sense. But I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely be sure to leave me comments down below on the next topic you want to see. I definitely am going to consider doing the relationship one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Have an amazing, beautiful day. Don't worry about that boy or girl you're dating, because at the end of the day, I guess my final thoughts to leave you guys with is that there's a plan for everyone and everything, and whoever's meant to be in your life will stay in your life, or they will be a lesson of some sort just for us to grow and flourish even more. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.